this guy's first time doing stand-up comedy on stage, and we can say that. And he's known as the guy in town with the sweetest fucking stash in Burbank. Please welcome Derek Jones, everybody.
How's everybody doing tonight? So, how many of you guys have kids out there? Anybody? Alright, yeah, you see a guy on stage with a mustache like this, you want to let him know you have children, I get it. You see a guy with a mustache, you automatically assume I'm out there cruising in my windowless van, selling loose cigarettes to elementary school kids, trying to lure them back to my tool shed to play mousetrap. Nice, real nice. But I've been sporting this stash for a couple months now. Let me tell you something. You want to become a social outcast? Grow yourself a mustache. There was a time when growing a mustache symbolized you were becoming a man. There was a time when growing a mustache could command respect. There was a time when growing a mustache could strike fear into the heart of your enemy as your mustache collected the tastes of dead animals and women. Nowadays you grow a mustache, you automatically have to register for Megan's Law. It's a real bummer because every time I back out of my driveway, they issue an Amber Alert. But I'm joking. I'm just here to prove that the stereotypes are true. I'm just fucking with you. I'm not registered for Megan's Law, but seriously, folks, I love children. I remember when I was a kid. I was one of the luckiest kids on the block. My dad, he got his cable real early. I was one of the first kids on my block to have cable TV. And my dad, as great a guy as he was, didn't pony up for the Cinemax, so I got the next best thing. He got his HBO. Home box office, and when you're watching something on HBO, the movies would always start the exact same way. They'd have these warnings at the beginning, AC, adult content, AL, adult language. And you know what? If it was White Men Can't Jump, Just One of the Guys, Maniac Cop 2, it didn't matter what it was. I saw a BN for brief nudity, so help me God, I was in it for the long haul. I would watch that piece of shit from start to finish for a 3-second flash of boob. HBO had made it possible for an 11-year-old to see nipple at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You understand what that means? And while brief nudity and nudity are all well and good, you just find yourself jerking off trying to time your orgasm to that German girl on European vacation. You needed something just a little bit more. And that's when you got SC, strong sexual content. And let me tell you, HBO's definition of strong sexual content a little different than my definition. HBO's definition of strong sexual content is some naked girl humping some guy's thigh with a sheet between their pelvises. No penetration, just a little thigh humping. But you know what? Sometimes a little thigh humping's all it takes, you know what I'm saying? So you'd be there, in your living room late at night, everybody's asleep. You get the volume turned all the way down the TV just to 1 notch, just in case it's a grunt or a groan no one can hear. And I'll tell you, the previous channel button on the remote control was invented solely for masturbation purposes. You got one finger on the previous channel button. I'll let you infer what you're doing with the other hand. But you got one finger on the previous channel button. And, so if you hear someone coming down the hall, you can hit the button, boom! Switch channels. You're back to G.I. Joe, nobody's the wiser. And I think all the guys in the crowd probably know this trick. When you hit the previous channel button, you go up 1 channel so you can cover your tracks. Explaining your ankles, your pants down to your ankles is a different story. Now your parents just think you're jerking off to G.I. Joe. You wake up the next morning, Mom, where do my action figures go? Oh, but I love girls, I love looking at girls, I love going to the beach. A couple weeks ago I went down to the beach with my best friend's girlfriend. My buddy couldn't make it, so we decided that we'd go to the beach by ourselves, very innocent. So we're down by the water, tossing the frisbee back and forth. You know, I'm looking around, and I'm looking at all the girls in their bathing suits, and I started thinking, the beach, for whatever reason, is the only place in America where it is socially acceptable to run around in your underwear, and nobody cares. I mean, girls are running around in skimpy little tops, they got a piece of string going between their butt cheeks, and you know, guys are basically just wearing their boxer shorts, but nobody's weird about it, nobody's embarrassed, so there I am, throwing the frisbee with my best friend's girlfriend when it hits me. I am standing here with my best friend's girlfriend, and we're in our underwear playing a game, and nobody cares. If my buddy had showed up to the beach at that very moment, whoa, there's a stool there. If my buddy had showed up to the beach at that very moment, you know, we would have just kept on playing frisbee. He would have gotten into his underwear too, and joined right in. You know, you don't call up your best friend's girlfriend and say, hey, Kelly, what are you doing this afternoon? Cool. Oh, yeah, Jeff's not around? Oh, bummer. I was thinking I'd come down to your apartment, maybe we strip down to our underwear, rub each other down with oil and play a little Connect 4. You know, your buddy comes home, sees you there in your underwear with your girlfriend, and you're playing Connect 4. You know, how could you? You're playing Connect 4 without me? It's real no joke there. More of an observation, really, but you know, I could kill you. Speaking of murder, I'll end on this charming note. I was watching one of those morning shows a couple of weeks ago, and they just love bumming housewives out with like the most depressing shit they can before their stories come on at noon. And there was this following here, it's gonna get dark. There was this news piece about this father in Alabama who took his children in the car, 3 kids, to a bridge in the middle of nowhere and tossed them off one by one. You know, it's an awful story, and you know, it's probably bumming all you guys out. We're at a comedy show. You're thinking, you know, what a terrible father. It's got to be the worst parent in the world. But is he? I mean, think about how in control of your parenting skills you have to be to throw those kids off the bridge individually. Think about the organizational skills there. You know, the communication. You know, I've been to Disneyland, and I have seen parents, you know, struggling trying to get 3 of their kids onto the small world. Never mind their imminent, demise into the cold Biscuit Alabama River. You know, the dad's got 1 kid above the head. The other 2 are trying to run. He's got to grab one by the collar. He's got one of those kitty leashes around his ankle so the kid can't run. You know, he gets stopped, tosses the first one off the bridge. No. You know, he's still got to convince the other 2 that he's not going to toss them, you know, luring them back towards the edge with like a handful of Jolly Ranchers. Which makes me think, you know, he was probably a really great dad when it came to family vacations. With the exception of the family trip to the bridge. Dad, how long is it going to be till we get to the bridge? It's taking forever. Well, it's going to be about an hour to the bridge, but it's going to feel like an eternity. I'm not heartless. You know, I can't help but feel bad for those kids. Think, you know, maybe there's something I could have done. If only I had been driving over the bridge at that very moment, I could have rolled down the window to my van, flashed them this mustache, and told them I just lost my chihuahua. They would have hopped right in, tragedy avoided. Thank you very much, everybody.